Welcome to the Soul Session with Samira Seraphini. You landed here for a reason. You're ready to heal your heart, embody authentic confidence, and soften into your feminine energy. It's time to live in true alignment and manifest a blissful life. Let's begin. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the Soul Session. I'm Samira Seraphini, intuitive therapist and creator of the Soul Method, Heal, Aligned, and Manifest. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found your way. This is not a podcast. This is your weekly session. And if you've been here before, welcome back. I love that you keep showing up for yourself. Today we're going into something I work with constantly in sessions. Something that looks like a money problem on the surface, but when we go deeper, it's almost never about the money. This episode is called The Reason You Cannot Out-Earn Your Family Pattern, a systemic guide to money flow. And I want to open with something I've said to many clients and something that stopped them cold. You are not blocked. You are loyal. If that sentence touched something in you, this episode is for you. Let me ask you something. Do you work hard, genuinely hard, and still feel like your income has an invisible ceiling? Do you have moments of expansion, a good month, a new client, a raise, and then something always seems to pull you back to the same number? Maybe you earn well, but spending on yourself, on something just for you, not practical, not for the family, feels uncomfortable, almost wrong. Or maybe you tried everything, the course, the mindset work, the affirmations, the vision boards, and you can see the life you want. You can see it clearly, but there is a gap between where you are and where you want to be. And no matter how hard you try, you cannot seem to cross it. If any of this is familiar, you're not irresponsible. You're not bad with money. You're not broken. You may just be carrying something that was never yours to carry in the first place. And that's what we're going to look at today. I want to be honest with you up front. This is not a financial planning episode. This is not a 5-step system for growing your income. I believe deeply that our external reality reflects our inner world. And nowhere is that more visible and more precise than with money. Every time a client brings a financial struggle into a session with me, it's never just about the money. It's always connected to identity, to belonging, to who they believe they are allowed to become, to who in their family they would be leaving behind if they actually succeed. And I worked with hundreds of clients over 7 years. And what I know is this. Your financial reality has a root, a specific root. And that root, it's not in your strategy. It's in your field. Today I'm going to show you that roots through the lens of the Soul Method. So here's our session. First, we're going to talk about what most people try when they recognize this pattern and why it keeps them stuck. Then we go into 3 things that actually move it, 3 roots, 3 openings, and we will close with a somatic practice, a movement to help your body integrate a new financial frequency, not to just understand it, but to feel it. So let's begin. Before we go into the framework, I want to name what doesn't work because most women I work with have already tried something and they tried hard and they are still circling the same financial ceiling. The first thing people usually try is they go into healing, deep, dedicated healing, more therapy, somatic work, and they consume content and they do more excavation. And what happens? It becomes quicksand. The more you dig, the more stuck you feel because you are pouring all your attention onto the problem. And by a law of consciousness, what you focus on grows. You are not moving toward the solution, you are fertilizing the wound. This is what I call the healing trap. You're always healing, but life isn't changing. The second thing people usually try is the opposite. They leap into manifestation, vision boards, affirmations, scripting, and trying to visualize that abundant life. And what happens is the vision is real, the desire is genuine, but the image is so far from where you actually are, from your nervous system, your field, and your family system, that there's no bridge, no path from here to there. But you're not blocked from manifesting. You are trying to manifest a life your body cannot yet sustain. And so the affirmations float on the surface. They speak to the conscious mind. But what runs your life, what runs your financial reality, is your unconscious mind. And your unconscious mind is still loyal to an older story. So, what actually works? The SOM method, working heal, align, and manifest simultaneously, past, present, and future. So you can collapse the timeline so the shift can actually happen. So today we'll be diving deep into the three roots. Root 1, the invisible loyalty. What you earn has everything to do with your identity. Not in the superficial sense of just decide to be wealthy. It's not that simple, and if you were, you wouldn't be here. It's this: we are wired to belong to our friendships, to our social circles, to our culture, and above all, to our family. That connection isn't just emotional, it's biological, ancient. Thousands of years ago, being excluded from your tribe meant danger. Survival was at risk. That instinct is still running in your nervous system today. And here is where money comes in. When you grow up in a family where money is scarce, where your parents struggle financially, where your grandparents lost everything, where beliefs like rich people have no integrity or we're not that kind of family that has money were spoken or unspoken, then prosperity to you begins to feel like a threat to belonging. Because you only grow as far as you can still belong. Your system tracks. If I earn more, will I still be one of them? If I build financial freedom, am I leaving them behind? If I succeed in a way they never did, am I betraying the people that I love? And the answer your nervous system gives quietly, automatically below the conscious thought is yes. Growing means separation, and separation is dangerous. So the sabotage begins. Not because you're weak, but because belonging is that deep. I want to share something that happened in a session. A client came to me with what looked on the surface like a practical problem. She had good income, but she couldn't keep it. Every time her balance went above a certain number, something would happen. Unexpected expense, an impulsive purchase, a business decision that didn't pan out, and she was back to zero within months. When she first came to me, she said, I think I just have bad luck with money. But when we went into the field, into the systemic layer, what came up was her family. A family that had always struggled financially, a mother who was proud of her frugality, a father who believed that wealthy people were corrupt and that wanting more was greedy and simplicity was a virtue. So my client unconsciously, invisibly, had made a decision very early. Staying small is how I stay loved in this family. Exceeding her family's financial ceiling felt in her body like abandonment. Not one of them of herself. Like she would become someone they no longer recognize. Like she didn't have her place in the family anymore. So every time she got close to that new level, her system quietly, very efficiently pulled her back to protect her. And that is not an accident, it was loyalty. Because prospering may feel like freedom, but your body may experience as a risk. So, the first question I want to leave you with is whose financial story are you still carrying? And if you were to earn significantly more than anyone in your family has, what would that mean to you? And what would it cost you emotionally? Who would you become in their eyes? Feel into that. Don't rush the answer. Because the answer to that is where your healing begins. The root two is the nervous system has a financial ceiling. Let's talk about what happens when you do start to earn more. Because sometimes the breakthrough happens, like a new client, a launch that exceeds every expectation, or a promotion, and money comes in at a level you haven't held before. And then within weeks or months, it's gone. Not necessarily through a catastrophe, through 1,000 small decisions that each seem logical in that moment, through lifestyle inflation, impulse, generosity that crosses the line into compulsion, through simply not tracking it. And this is not a discipline problem. This is a regulation problem. Your nervous system has a financial set point, a level it knows how to hold, that it feels comfortable and safe. And when you exceed that set point, your system sees the excess not as safety, but as a danger. Too much. Unknown territory. Get back to familiar ground. So your body doesn't see more money as an opportunity. It sees it as exposure. And why is that set point where it is? Because it was calibrated in your childhood by the messages you absorb, not just from what was said, but what was felt. The tension in the kitchen when the bills came, the shame around wanting more, the belief that sacrifice is what good people do, that working yourself to the bone is what integrity looks like. So, messages for your underconsciousness. Don't surpasses your father. Money is dirty. Trying something new is reckless. You have to struggle to deserve it. Or having too much makes you a target. And all those messages live in your body right now as a physiological response. And so when more money arrives, your system doesn't celebrate, it braces. And this is why inner work that matters here is not about healing the past wound, it's about upgrading the container, like installing a new set point. Teaching your nervous system that this new level is not danger. It is your new home. And I see this in so many women I work with, and I felt it in myself. You receive more money than you're used to, and something in you gets busy. Suddenly, there are things that need to be paid. Someone needs your help. A purchase that felt urgent. A business investment that seemed necessary. And you look back a month later and wonder, where did it go? It didn't disappear. Your system simply redistributed back to the familiar level, back to the set point it knows how to hold. And this is not bad luck. This is not irresponsibility. It's your nervous system doing exactly what it was trained to do, keeping you safe by keeping you small. And more money doesn't expand you. It exposes what you haven't yet learned to sustain. And the work here is two things happening simultaneously: inner work and outer work. So the outer work is structure, systems, tracking, making conscious decisions with money rather than reactive ones. This creates new neural pathways. It tells your system, I'm learning to hold and sustain this new level. But the inner work is also so essential to help your system to sustain a new financial level. And the inner work is not about excavation of the past, but upgrading the present. Looking at the message you received in your childhood and consciously choosing different ones. Giving yourself permission to access and sustain mostly more. and also doing the somatic work to let your body feel safe at a higher financial frequency. The key, and this is what I want you to hear clearly, is that you don't need to become a different person. You don't need to become someone else. You need to become available to a new reality. And that's the upgrade, not a replacement, but an expansion in your path, in your system. Ruth 3. Money has your mother's face. Now we arrive at the third root, and this is the one almost no one talks about. In family constellation, in the work of Bert Hellinger, there is a phrase I use in sessions constantly. Money has your mother's face. And let me explain what that means. When you arrive in this world, your first experience of abundance was not financial. It was your mother. Her warmth, nourishment, the milk, the holding, the presence. In your nervous system, in your unconscious level, your mother represents the original source of receiving. The first flow of abundance you ever experienced. And so, when you begin to look at your relationship with money, receiving the abundance, the flow, you will find underneath it your relationship with your mother. Not necessarily as she is today, but as she lives in your heart, the image you carry of her. When you judge your mother, or when you try to save her, or when you see her with contempt or pity, that's when you place yourself above her. And that's when you cannot accept the destiny she chose. That creates a systemic imbalance. And in that imbalance, you close a door. And in that imbalance, you close a door. Not consciously, not as a punishment, but as a consequence. If you reject the one who gave you life, you block what life is trying to give you. And I want to be clear about what I'm not saying. I'm not saying your mother was right. I'm not saying you have to agree with her choices or return to a relationship that isn't safe or forget or forgive what was painful in your history. What I'm saying is this. The image you carry of your mother in your heart, the energy with which you hold her inside you, that is what we were talking about. And when that image is one of judgment, distance, or rejection, the channel of receiving closes. Because she's the one who gave you life, and life and abundance flow through that same channel. I remember a client came to me, a woman in her 40s. She was successful and she had built a real big business. But there was always a glass ceiling on her income. She could see it, she could feel it, but she could never break through it. When we went into her field, her family field, what emerged was her mother. Her mother had spent her life in financial struggle. And she had stayed in a marriage that wasn't good for her because she believed she couldn't provide for herself. She had been, in my client's eyes, a victim, someone to pity or to try to save. And my client had unconsciously decided I would be nothing like her. I would be strong and successful, and I would never need anyone. What looked like determination from the outside was on the inside a rejection. She was trying to out earn her mother's history, but every time she got close, something pulled her back. Not to her mother's level exactly, but a ceiling just beyond what felt safe to surpass. When she finally turned toward her mother in the session, not to agree with her choices, but to take her in her heart, something shifted. And she cried not from pain, but from recognition. She realized that she had been spending 20 years running from an image that lived inside her. And that running had cost her more than any financial block. 3 months later from our session, she had crossed the ceiling. Because you don't need to agree with your mother. You need to stop fighting with her inside. And this is not about having a perfect relationship with your mother. It is only about the image you carry inside. When you take her as she is, as she was, with her limitations and her gifts, you take 50% of her DNA. It is 50% of yourself that you've been rejecting. And in that taking, the channel opens. Not all at once, but it opens in layers. Autonomy, real financial autonomy, always comes with a degree of loneliness because you are choosing to walk your own path. You are building something your family may not have built, and you may become someone they may not fully recognize. So, you know that autonomy comes with freedom and with solitude. And that is not a sign you've done something wrong. That is the sign that you are growing. You can love your family, you can love your friends fully, and still choose to walk your path. That it might be different from them. Those two things can exist together. Taking your parents doesn't mean staying small with them. It means honoring what they give you, even what wasn't perfect, and using it as the ground from which you grow. I want to pause here for a moment. What we just explored, the invisible loyalty, the nervous system ceiling, the mother wound, these are three roots. And knowing the three roots is not the same as moving them. Because these patterns live below of the level of inside. They live in your body, in your field, in your family system, which is unlike any other family. The truth is, there is no generic answer to a personal root. Your foundational pattern is yours. And finding it and actually shifting it, it's what we do in the soul session. We go into your specific field, your loyalties, your relationship with your mother. We do the work somatically, systemically, and energetically. at your pace, in a space of complete safety. If something today touched that root, if you felt a recognition somewhere in your body, the application is in the show notes. Just you and me, one session, your story and field, and a next opening. When you feel the yes, I'm here for you. We've understood a lot today, and now I want to let your system receive it, not just your mind. So, we're going to do a practice I use in sessions. It's somatic and systemic, which means we're going to use the body and the field simultaneously. You don't need to understand everything that happens, just let your body guide you. So, I want you to find a comfortable position. You can be seated or standing. Standing is beautiful for this if you are able. Feet flat on the floor. Close your eyes and take a slow breath in and let it go. One more. And release. Feel the ground beneath you, the floor receiving the weight of your feet, the earth supporting you without asking anything in return. You are here and you are safe. Now, with your inner eye, I want you to look behind you. Not with judgment or wanting to fix anything, just to see. Your family is there. Your parents, your grandparents, the ones who came before them, all the people who viewed the ground you are standing on, with their limitations, their gifts, their sacrifices, and their love. And I want you to bring one hand to your heart and silently or out loud say, I see you. I honor what you carried, and I take what you gave me. Feel whatever wants to come, don't push anything. Now I want you to look at the present, this moment, right here and right now. Your life as it is, not as you wish it were, as it is. And silently say, I accept this. I am here. I'm a grown up now. Now, with your inner eye, look forward into the open space in front of you. And this is not about a vision board or what you want to manifest. Focus on this space. Open, available, ready to be filled. And say, internally or out loud, I am available. I allow myself to receive. I am ready for more. Now, if you're standing, I want you to take one step forward, a real step into that open space, and notice how your body feels. And notice what your body feels. That step, that simple physical step forward, your field just registered it. Your nervous system felt something new. Take a slow breath and let it go. Gently open your eyes. Welcome back. How did that feel? I genuinely want to know. If something shifted, even something small, notice, write it down, because this is the beginning of integration. If you want to keep going with this kind of practice, somatic, systemic, grounded in real inner work, the Becoming You Activation Workbook is waiting for you. 5 days of exercises designed to help you begin this work in your own body. It's free and the link is in the show notes. Now let's bring this home. 3 roots, 3 openings. Your financial ceiling may not be a strategy problem. It may be a loyalty, a deep, unconscious, loving loyalty to a family system that taught you that staying small is how you stay connected. The work is to see that loyalty for what it is, not a sentence, but a story. And recognize that you can love your family fully and still choose a different financial reality. And your nervous system was calibrated in childhood. It knows how much abundance feels safe to hold. And when you exceed that set point, it doesn't celebrate, it tries to restore the balance. And the work isn't just about healing the past, it's upgrading the container, teaching your body through inner work and outer structure simultaneously that this new level is safe. It is your new home. And your mother in your unconscious represents the original source of receiving. And the image you carry of her in your heart directly shapes your relationship with abundance. Taking your mother in your heart as she was, with her limitations and gifts, it's one of the most financially transformative acts available to you. No agreement, no forgiveness as performance, just taking. So before your financial life feels like a loop you cannot escape, you earn and it disappears. You try harder and the ceiling stays. And you work on mindset and nothing shifts at the root. But now, after these sessions, you have a different lens. You see the pattern as information, not punishment. You understand what's been driving it. And you have a direction, a real direction. One question to sit with. Where in your financial life are you still being loyal to a story that was never yours? Don't try to answer it immediately. Let it sit in your body and notice what comes up, where you feel tension and resistance, and when there is relief. Because that's the root of you, and that's where the work begins. One last thing before I go. If today opened something, a recognition, a question, a quiet, this is exactly what I'm circling, I want you to know there is a space for that. In the soul session, we go to the root. Your loyalty, your relationship with your mother, your limitations, because there is no generic answer to a personal story. So, one session, just you and me, systemic, somatic, energetic, at your base. Check the applications in the show notes if you feel the yes. And if you want to stay in this work between sessions, download the Becoming You Activation Workbook. 5 days of practices completely free in the show notes. Subscribe to the newsletter is where I share my own process more intimately than anywhere else, and you can reply directly. I love hearing from you. Share this episode with one woman who needs to hear it today. You probably know exactly who she is. And if this podcast has been part of your healing journey, a review means everything to me. All the links are in the description. And before I go, I want to leave you with something. The pattern you recognize today, the loyalty, the ceiling, the inherited story about money, it did not begin with you, but it can end with you. And the work you're doing, choosing to see it, understand it, and take one step forward, that doesn't only change your financial life, it changes what gets passed to everyone who comes after you. A woman who changes her life is healing her whole lineage. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for doing this work. I'll see you in the next session. Sending you so much love. If you made it to the end of this episode, it means you're truly committed to healing your heart and living in true alignment. I see you, and I'm so proud of you. Make sure to subscribe to the Soul Session so you never miss our weekly time together. And if you enjoy what you heard, please leave a review and share your biggest takeaway. I'd love to hear from you. For exclusive content straight to your inbox, subscribe to my weekly newsletter. And if you're ready to quantum leap into your next level, book a one-on-one session with me. You'll find all links in the description. Thank you for being here. Sending you so much love. Until next time.